What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stoner Network. It's your boy, Curly Stoner. With me today, we got a really good interview. You may have seen him on social media, giving back to his community, and not just one place, but in many places out here in the Coachella Valley. He is also a barber over at the King's Club Barbershop. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you. Fuck, I forgot. What did you?
My name is Esteban Figueroa, but I go by BarberCipactli on
That's what
all
it is.
platforms.
That's what it is. Yeah, I was trying to come up with, like, I was reading it. I know I read it right the first time, but I was like, how do you pronounce this? I was trying to figure out what it was, and it just kept like from the time that I hit you up, I nonstop was just trying to figure out how to not botch the name, and I knew right as I was about to say it right now, I was gonna completely botch that.
Oh yeah. Dude.
So yeah, man, let us know a little bit more about you. How long have you been pursuing barber, like, as a barber?
So I've been barbering. I joined barber school when I was 19. I'm 27 now.
Okay.
And it's just something I've always been a part of. My dad's been a barber for like 18 plus years.
Oh wow.
So I remember when we first moved out of here, because we're originally from Blythe.
Okay.
Then I moved to like Havasu, and then we came out
wow.
here. And coming out here, I'd always be with my dad. And I remember just one day being at the shop, and his boss was like, "Hey, do you want a job here? You could sweep hair and like go hold the sign and shit."
Oh, shit.
So then that's when it all started, bro. I was 11 years old, and every Saturday after that day, I was just always in the barbershop with my dad, always around that setting.
Nice. So it just kind of brought you in, all full circle, I guess. So shout out to Pops for kind of keeping you in that little environment, I guess you could say, because it brings and you know, for most people, like, when it comes to doing something, it always comes with, like, either it's been something that the family has done, or maybe like a sibling or a brother or a dad in this case was like something that you kind of pursue, which is really nice, you know, because it brings out it builds character, I guess you can say, you know, like 100%. I know they use that saying in sports, you know, like when you get hurt, you know, like, get up, you're good. Dude. It builds character. But for you said you started at 11, so it kind of brought you into the light of wanting to pursue being a barber. And for most people, I mean, for me, barbering, like, I've seen my barber get down, and it's not easy. So how does that process go? Like you said, you started barbering at 19. You said you started.
Yeah.
You go to school? Did you go to school out here?
Yeah, I went to the International School of Beauty in Palm Desert. That's a great school. Anybody looking to get into it, they do a good job at, you know, getting your state board license and all that type of stuff. I had a great experience there, and
nice.
I was blessed enough to be in there with a bunch of skilled barbers too that helped me out. And after school, I was always heading to the shop, getting some game from my brother and my dad, because my brother's a barber too. But
nice.
He got out of the game a few years back, but he still be cutting his son's hairs and shit. So he's still in the field, still doing it.
Yeah, nice. I mean, once you start barbering, right, you don't stop. Like, especially when it comes to, like, when you have kids, you know, you don't got to worry about going somewhere. You already, hey, you know, sit down. I'm gonna cut your hair real quick, and that's nice, you know. So given that you said your dad started and then your brother and now you, what was the biggest thing going into being a barber that you felt you wanted to change? Like, what was something that you wanted to make your own?
You know what, dude? Barbering is all about the experience. So one thing that I noticed was just buttering up my people skills. I was always like an introverted person, and being in that setting, you know, you got to be an extrovert. You got to provide a service for your client. You got to make them feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest part, making them feel like they already know you and all that. So just with every client, it was like trial and error on what to talk about, how to bring up conversations, and how to start diving into them. Just building that rapport, you know?
Yeah, got to just kind of, and it's nice, right? Because then you build that like first name basis with your clients, and then you're able to kind of, once they come in, like I said with my barber, like, I don't have to really say anything. It's just sit on the chair, and we already know what you got to do. But yeah, so the barbershop, you said you were located in Cathedral City. So for anybody looking to be cut up or any type of things, is there anything you guys specialize? Is there any of the barbers that are there specialize in anything specific?
You know what? We do all kinds of skills right there. We got our barbers that do the designs. I'm kind of known from the eyebrow work that I do. I'll be doing the eyebrows.
Okay, yeah, I think I did see a few things.
Yeah, bro. And dude, we do a full on thing over there. And I think one thing that makes our barbershop stand out is that we also do free head shaves for cancer patients.
Oh, nice.
And, you know, that's not, like, out there enough. I'm going to start marketing that a little more, just because I know there's a lot of people battling that type of battle. And just to let them know that they're not alone, you know, and we support it. Because we come from the family background that's been battling cancer. So we know how that can go, you know. And
yeah, it gets tough.
Yeah, it gets tough, dude. So that's one thing that our barbershop does do. Free head shaves for any cancer patients.
Nice,
we make sure we take care of them and make them feel, you know, comfortable.
Yeah, and that's nice. And I do see, you know, it's interesting enough, right? Like, when it comes to that kind of stuff, I do see, and it's not here in the Valley per se, but I do see it a lot where, like, the barber will be told that the person that's cutting their hair is going through, like, chemo and they're losing their hair, so they're cutting their hair. And it's really nice to see the impact that you can bring from someone, even if you're there just to show them that you care, you know, like,
Yeah.
and to giving back and not having to charge them for that, it must make them feel, you know, like, well, you're welcome, like, you know, like you're very much appreciated, and you're fighting a fight that not many people can, you know, can tackle. And
100%.
so yeah, like I've seen a video where like a guy, the barber's cutting his person's hair, and then he cuts his hair right at
Yeah,
the
I've
same
seen
time.
those videos
And
too,
that's
bro.
touching, you know, like
It is, man.
cancer is not a joke. And I mean that for me, like where I being in the cannabis industry, most people don't know that there's a cannabinoid that's called CBG. CBG is a cannabinoid that helps with rejuvenation. So a lot of people use it for like recovery, muscles. But the main thing that we get a lot of people that come in for is like cancer patients.
Oh,
So they use CBG because CBG, it does not kill, it does not get rid of it, but it does help reduce the cancer tumors. And so when people come in, they're looking for something, and you can tell like they don't want to really say what it's for. And I always like to let them know, like, hey, you know, when it comes to CBG, I said, if you're looking for CBG, I said rejuvenating cannabinoid, I said it does help. I said in most cases, it does help with anyone battling cancer. It does give you the that kind of recovery and focus that you want, especially after your treatments. And so like it's nice to see that with like barbers and like with me, you know, like in the cannabis industry, there's ways to kind of let people know like you're not alone. And then that, you know, like you have support, whether it's a free haircut, whether it's coming in for some information about something you may have not known. It's really nice to see that other people kind of go out and about to try to help others, which is what we need a lot in this community. A lot of people in the community try to help. And then there's also people in the community that try to say like, well, I have helped. And it's nice to continuously see the effort being put out. And that's what brought, like, I think I've gotten 3 or 4 different people that had hit me up. They were like, yo, you should get him on the podcast. Like he's always like, I see his videos everywhere.
That's fine.
And interesting enough, I just, when I scroll through my For You page, you'll come up. You'll come up. Like the first one I saw was when you were at right there by Big League Dreams, like at the little plaza area. You were giving like haircuts and food, and that to me like got me interested. And I like things like that. I had a friend of mine who her grandfather unfortunately passed. Like he went through like a situation where their AC unit went out and it was too hot in the house.
Oh man.
And there's a guy, I forget his name, but he does this stuff where he does a GoFundMe, randomly meets the person and tries to tell them like, oh, like, well, like in a sense, like, I found this ring. Is it yours? And he goes, no, that's not mine. So seeing like that kind of stuff really helps. And so it's very impactful, and seeing you give back to your community kind of really shows that, there's many people within like the Coachella Valley that really do care about their community. And it's never only just about, what it brings to you, but what it brings to others. And that's really nice to see. When did you guys, I know that you were mentioning that your whole family as a unit, you guys kind of do that all together.
Yeah.
When did you guys start that, and how did it go about?
So you know what? Honestly, when we first opened up the barbershop, which was, I think our opening year was 2019.
Okay.
We linked up with one of the homies, shout out Carlos, and he threw an event at the park. I think it was like Panorama Park. And we actually had all our chairs out there in 2019,
lined up?
giving free haircuts to like any struggling parents, you know, making sure their kids were set for school. So that's where it really started from. And then after that, we started connecting with the Boys and Girls Club in Cathedral City. And every year we'd throw like a little Christmas toy drive for them and make sure they got school supplies. So we'd always hire like a taco stand, a jumper for the kids. We had the DJ out there. Shout out DJ Ray. And yeah, dude, we'd always just do that. And over time, you know, it kind of started getting a little expensive. And then I started doing my marketing just with my barbering, because I hired a few mentors to like learn the internet, learn how to shoot stuff and how to hook people in. So I started really doing that. And then me and my dad were like, you know what, let's just keep to the basics, because that's what we're doing. We always gave back. So I was like, you know what, I got this marketing skill that I learned. Like, let's do this, and, you know, we'll just keep going. And the first video I dropped, man, I'm trying to think what was the first one we did. Oh, the first one we did was underneath the Indio Bridge. And I just remember, like you said, bro, you used that word impactful. And, dude, like my messages were like flooding with all love and just comments and people wanting to also engage in the movement and want to help me. And that's where I'm at today. You know, I got the nonprofit coming soon, and just the donations being dropped off at my shop. Like, that's what makes it even more possible to do. You know, people give me clothes, hygiene products, and I went from doing it all out of my pocket to, you know, now not really
with
having
the
to do
support of the
anything.
community. Yeah.
With the support of the community, bro. And honestly, just seeing that is just like so beautiful. Like, if we all come in together, dude, like, man, you'll be surprised like how much you can get done and how many lives you can impact.
Oh yeah, the world would be a better place if we were all, you know, and a sense that's kind of what I do here, right? Like, I like to be able to have people on here that want to just speak and talk and like let me know, because like I like to learn about different people. I like to be able to understand what drives them, what makes them want to do more. And it helps me, in a sense, it motivates me, right? To kind of pursue and what I'm continuously doing is when it comes to being a father, when it comes to this production, everything that I'm doing. Like I'm also going to be helping with like a pilot video for the film festival. And so things like that, I like seeing that, when the community comes together, it really shows that, yeah, we may have chaos in the world and all this other stuff that goes on. But if you really look and kind of center yourself into the community that you're in, you start to see the change, the impact, and the motivation that comes within, which is really nice, because you said you guys were, like most people, if they run a business, they don't try to do something outside of the business.
Yeah.
You guys are trying to have your business and also impact others by trying to do more than just cutting hair. You're giving back, you're supporting others. And a lot of the times, I've always said this too, like when it comes to people on the streets, it could be you gave somebody some food, you gave somebody $1, something. It always, you never know what can change. Like my fiance, I used to tell her, like she used to always kind of ask me, she goes, aren't you afraid that they're going to want to go and spend that money on drugs? And I'm like, yeah, that's the biggest fear that you should have, but it should not pull you away from supporting and helping somebody, especially if you see that they're younger or maybe they're a little bit older. Like I always like to be able to help people as far as, if they want food, I'll go get you some food. If they want some money, like, okay, look, I'll get you some money. I'll give you something that I can help you with. But yeah, I always let people know once I give you something, I cannot dictate what you do with it.
Exactly.
And you never know. Like I've always told myself, if it ever comes true, and I pray to God it does one day, and because it'll make me feel really good, is seeing somebody just randomly, maybe on the TV, maybe just in person, they come up to me and, hey, you remember me? Like I needed like $5 more to go see my daughter, and you made that come true, and now I'm in a better place. That'll make me feel good. I tell people I'm like the Adam Sandler of my group, where if it's not for me, it's going to be for someone in my group, and I'm going to make sure that it happens. Like, and that's what you guys are doing. You guys are kind of spreading that awareness. Like a lot of people on the streets may not be. I mean, most people categorize people on the streets as like bad people or addicts, and in some cases, that's really all that they had. 100%. And you guys show that. All of you guys as a whole, but within your barbershop as well, you guys show that it doesn't matter what's underneath, it matters what's inside. And if some people didn't have the opportunity to get the help at the time that they needed it, sometimes they end up on the street.
Yeah, and that's true, bro.
It hurts, because you put yourself in the situation where like, well, that could be my family member.
Yeah.
It could be my mom. It could be my dad. It could be my sister. It could be someone that you know. And you guys give that what's the word? You guys give the joy and the encouragement to others to let them know, like, hey, yes, they're on the streets. Yes, they don't have anything, but that doesn't define who they are.
Exactly.
They could be better. And that's the message that I see from your videos. And it's great. It's like I said, I'll go on Instagram and I'll scroll through and your video will come up. Then there's times where you're doing like your day-to-day at the barbershop, where you go into the shop, you're starting up, you turn on the little light, and then you set your table or you set your chair, your clients start to roll in, and it's nice to see that, and so with that, like run me down the day-to-day steps that it goes when you open up the shop.
So we really just try to make sure that we got the shop opened up, welcoming for everybody that's coming through. Because man, like I said, ever since this video's been going out, we got a lot of people just pulling up, just wanting to say hi, show some love. So, we're trying to make sure we hold our shop to a standard because, we want to make sure everybody, even like our employees in there, we tell them, like now we got a reputation, so we want to make sure we're just giving everybody that experience that they're expecting to experience. Because now they all have expectations, from what they see online. So we got to make sure we hold those expectations to a standard. And that's what we've been doing, man. We've been tidying up, and it's been great. Like we offer, and this is something that I don't see any other barbershops do either. We got complimentary sodas, snacks, and shout out to the Coachella Valley coffee crew too. They blessed me with a year's supply of coffee.
Oh, nice.
So we got some free coffee in there for anybody that are coffee drinkers. And we always have donuts on Saturdays too.
Nice.
And it's funny because, man, those kids, they remember that. They're like, oh, man, we want to pull up on Saturday for some donuts.
You're like, I don't need a haircut. I just want a donut. And that's nice. See, like, because with kids, right, like some kids are so terrified of getting haircuts. Like,
100%.
Like my son, I sat in the chair with him and he was just like moving and everything. And all we did was just kind of cut his hair because my hair's curly and we were hoping that his hair was going to be curly. And so when you try to make the kids as comfortable as possible when it comes to coming into a barbershop, it's nice because they'll remember that going forward. And then now not only do you have the parent as a client, but then as the kids get older, they keep coming back and coming back. And then before you know it, whoever ends up in your seat may or may not have been someone you cut up when they were maybe 4 years old. Now they're like 8, 9.
Oh yeah,
And
dude.
so it's full circle. And barbershops to me, I had one barbershop when I grew up because my stepdad was in the military. So my stepdad had us to where it was the length. If he could pull it, it was too long.
Yeah.
He'd take us in. His barber would just straight, just cut our hair. And it got to the point where I used to be, because we get a haircut every 2 weeks. And I used to hate that day I knew, oh man, it's Saturday. We're going to the barbershop. And I used to hate it. I used to not like going in because I always wanted my hair to grow.
Yeah.
And my stepdad would always tell me, he goes, it's not about how long your hair is, it's about how you look. And I was like, well, what if I want to look the way I look? And he goes, well, if you want to look the way you look, that's fine. But right now you're still a child. And I used to, and it made sense, like as we got older, it made sense because of how he was raised with his military background. That's just kind of what he was accustomed to. Do you ever get anybody, like, have you ever gotten anyone in the shop that has maybe asked for a type of hairstyle that you weren't able to do? And was there like, how did you overcome something like that?
You know what? Yeah, there's a lot of popular hairstyles that are coming out. Like that longer hair is like the trend right now, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So you got like the mod cuts, the warrior cuts. And I actually signed me and my dad up for a class to go specialize in that and to learn a little more about that. And I just keep it real, bro. When they sit in my chair, I'm like, you know what, dude? I want to make sure you get the best possible results that you're looking for. Because like I said, bro, everybody comes in with expectations. And you want to make sure that you're giving them as close to that as when they walk out the door. So I just keep it up front, and I'll recommend them to my barbers that do a good job at that.
Okay, yeah.
And it's cool, dude, because they'll respect the realness, and I'm not in it for the money, like I could have just freestyled it, got paid, and sent
Called it a
deuces,
day.
but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, dude, they're best. Every client that comes in, they have our best interest. We want to make sure they have the best experience possible and just leave a happy customer, so when they go out, they can share their experience with other friends that are looking for barbers, or coming for a cool welcoming shop.
Yeah,
so that's the biggest
big
thing right there, bro. We just want to make sure everybody got that good experience. So when they go around, around their loved ones, they're like, hey, you guys got to come check them out.
Mm-hmm.
They do it a little different.
Yeah, word of mouth is a big thing, especially as barber, right? Even with me, like with photography, when I do the photography, like if someone posts a photo, I don't expect credit. I don't expect anything. But then I start seeing comments, yo, who took your pictures? That looks super sick. And then they'll send them my stuff. Yo, hey, I was recommended by someone else. And that word of mouth is really big, especially within like the Coachella Valley. There are like a few, like the guy that I told you, my buddy Matt, the H5 Studios, when he was cutting my hair, I was going to his house in his room. He was cutting my hair in his room. He was going to people's houses, and to see how much of a change he did for people. And it's interesting, right? Because like a style of a barber when you see it.
Yeah.
So when you're going out, if I would go into the barber, I would go in to get my haircut. I'd go to school, and I'd see somebody with like either a similar haircut as mine or something nicer than what I had. And I'm always like, who did that? And then I'd ask him, oh, Matt did it. And I'm like, my Matt? Like my barber Matt? Well, okay. And then I'd go try to check it out. So with you said the kind of twist that you have is the eyebrows, right?
Yeah.
When did you get into like doing that?
You know what, dude? I'll give the credit to my brother. He kills it with eyebrows every single time. And I started recognizing that people will come in kind of like just for that, like of course the haircut's clean, but that's something that like not a lot of barbers like tackle the best. Because we just use the razor and then like the little T-liner and just bringing that shape to life. Because there'll be some people that never had their eyebrows done at all, and it's funny because the one that's gonna notice it is your lady.
Yeah.
So once you do that, dude, like they're like, damn, you get down, you got to go back to that, dude. You got your face looking bright.
I'm paying from now on. Go back. See, because with me, I've never touched my eyebrows.
Oh dang.
And my mom used to get in trouble when I was young. They would give her like kind of crap for it because they were like, you need to stop threading your son's eyebrows. And so that's like the one thing that I've always known. When I saw a video, I don't know who it was that you had, but you were laying back and you were like, and like the finishing touch, you were touching up their eyebrows. And yeah, like the definition, the shape when it comes to it is kind of nice because it brings together the haircut.
It does, dude. It does.
Complements the face, especially just like with the beard, right? Like most people have a scruffy beard and then you get it lined up and fixed. And even if you didn't get a haircut, the definition of the lining of the beard just kind of brings out like your face features.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. And I mean, I don't see many people that are actually kind of, taking the time to learn how to do the eyebrows. It's really just the haircut. Most people I've seen is just like braiding or doing like cool designs, and that's always great. But seeing a difference, and it comes with everything, right? So like I see it with I see it with artists. I see it with like singers. I see it with different things, and it's so nice because I told the wrestler, my buddy that was here, in a sense, it's all the same joy that everyone gets with the craft that you're doing. So when you're doing something that you love, you like to perfect it, and then you like to learn to do other things.
Yeah, true that, bro.
So, whew, sorry, I'm still warm from outside. One thing that you feel, okay, like give me like a 3-month plan that you have when it comes to your, like the barbershop. What's something that you want to accomplish in 3 months?
So now, dude, like when I first started this little internet journey, the result was always to, up the prices and just keep the clientele going. And, taking a shift from chasing that, it's been just seeing how much families can I impact, how many people can I impact. And that's what started guiding me towards the nonprofit. And, you know what, dude, I kind of just started envisioning going state to state, making a difference, spreading love, and even maybe one day going around the country, bro, just spreading love,
traveling.
going, doing everything. And I give all my credit to my parents. They're like my biggest supporters. Pops is always in the background right there shooting with me, and my mom's always in the cuts too. So
Nice.
I got my team right there, bro. And you can't do anything without a team. You need
Yeah.
a team to hit that next level. And I'm just blessed enough that my team is filled with love like that too.
Yeah,
bro.
foundation. Most people don't understand that to build a house, right, you need a foundation, and that goes with everything. You want structure. You want something to work for you before you start to change it. And I mean, it seems to me like with not just the barbershop, with everything you do for the community, like it does kind of take a lot of time.
Yeah.
When was there ever a moment where you felt a little stressed out when it came to like you were saying, like you were slowly started getting all those messages? Did it ever become a little like a little stressful?
You know what, bro? It really did. But one thing that I started doing, bro, like my mindset, like they have that saying, you just let go and let God. Like that's kind of just been the mentality where I feel like He's bringing everything on my plate, and He won't put anything on my plate that I can't handle. So it's been cool, bro. I just been moving with faith, and everything's just been aligning exactly the way it's supposed to be. So I'm just blessed for that, bro. And I've been probably on this internet journey for about a year and 4 months, 5 months ish.
Still slightly fresh.
Yeah, bro. But one thing that's like helped is like learning how to filter out the negative. And as long as there's more love than hate, bro, like that's honestly what just keeps me going. Especially
True.
like with in-person interactions, like it's crazy, bro. What's been really moving lately is these videos. Like there'll be family members that didn't even know whoever I'm taking care of that they're still alive, and some of them are like completely unrecognizable
Oh, wow. Yeah.
because of like their addiction. And just getting those heartwarming messages, bro, like, and if you come from like that background, of like drug addicts or even poverty, like you could understand the struggle it is. And like you said, people look at these people as bad people, but if you've never experienced that, then you don't understand the disease of like addiction. And like that shit's the devil's drug, bro. And it'll have you wrapped in, and it'll change your whole mentality. You'll give up your family, you just become selfish.
Yeah.
And when you share love like that, bro, like it's cool, because the people that overcame the addiction, that's honestly the ones that are really supporting me. And everybody that's been donating stuff, like they understand that background and they overcame it. So it's cool, like I'm moving and giving hope to these people that are still battling it on the streets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, not only, as you were saying, like you get a lot from the people that have already overcome it, but there may or may not, there may be some people that are still struggling with it.
Yeah,
and they see your videos, and it can make them realize, hey, like that could be me. Like, maybe let me find a way to keep going and help. And it's nice because, I mean, even a small haircut can go a long way for someone on the streets. They could have long hair, just matted hair, and then you come around and you give them a nice little haircut. And it could even, I mean, women, right? With women, my fiance, if she gets a good haircut, like she gets her haircut, she feels confident.
Yeah.
You get your nails, the girls get their nails done, they like it. They feel like confidence boost, right? And so I always told myself, because my main goal is to eventually have a production company, like a big production company. And the inspiration that I get is from Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler does everything with his friends, and his like for any Adam Sandler movies, have you ever seen where it shows there's the old man that golfs and it says terrific? That's his dad.
Oh, dang.
And so
I didn't know that.
For me, I told myself, like my goal is to eventually be able to help. Like there's community centers here, But I feel like a lot of the times, like the cities really do an injustice when it comes to actually focusing on trying to help with like homelessness,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
There's there could be places where you can like offer, hey, let me offer to like have a place where they can come in and take a shower, shave, do anything like that. Or help them like, hey, look, maybe you don't have a criminal background. You've been doing drugs for like 5-6 years. It all takes just one person to help someone, and to have a center where people can come in and help them with like, hey, like your background isn't bad. You've had a few job experiences. Let's kind of help you kind of clean yourself up, tidy up. And then if you want to continue to try to pursue getting off the streets, let's help you. Like, let's find ways to do that. And your contribution to the community really shows that, I mean, just giving someone a pair of shoes, clothes, food, a haircut could eventually impact them to say, you know what, I want to get out of the streets. I want to do better. And that takes, again, just one person coming and supporting and believing and doing something, and not seeing them as just a person on the streets that is nothing. Like
bro.
in most cases, people will look at a homeless person and automatically assume, oh, this fucking drug addict or this and that. And you never want to do that. Like you put yourself in a situation where sometimes you can't get out of it. And that goes with everything. There's times where there's people around that you have massive debt because you were so invested in opening credit cards, maxing them out, and then you're stuck in a loophole of nonstop debt, right?
Yeah,
Similar to
dude.
somebody on the streets. They may have not had other option, and that was the only road that they knew, and nobody corrected them, nobody helped them, and nobody supported them. And with one little thing, it could change that. And that's nice to see, like, I know it's like I keep saying impactful, but I feel like because that's really the message that comes from being able to help your community and being able to help others. And, like, as you were saying, you let God kind of guide you in the direction that you need to go, and that's great. Especially like, for me, like I've gotten in situations where I've been in relationships where I thought it was the right one, and then I've made mistakes. I've made decisions that ruined or cost me my job and things like that. And the one thing that I know is like I told you, like, I worked in the cannabis industry, right, since 2019. My goal was to always help people. I was in middle school. I grew up in Compton. And I had a friend of mine who had a heart problem. And one day he was supposed to dress out for PE, and he didn't. And Mike, the coach, told him, if you're not going to dress out, you're going to walk the field. So for the entire class, he walked the field. And it sucked because he had a heart problem. He told him he wasn't feeling well. And then we are going in the locker rooms, and I tapped my buddy on the shoulder. I'm like, hey, man, you good? He falls on me.
Dang,
seizes, and
dude.
I'm like this. Don't know what to do. I'm freaking out. And ever since that day, it made me feel like I was vulnerable. Like I couldn't help. There was nothing that I could do to help anyone. And him to this day, I always tell myself, and I always like to share the message that he had, was because he was such a bright individual. He was so nice to everyone, super kind, and his name is Luis. And from then on, I got older. As older I got, I ended up becoming a lifeguard. I told myself, as a lifeguard, I learned CPR, I learned first aid, I learned ways to kind of help people. In a situation like that, I will never be vulnerable again. I won't be able to help. I won't be helpless.
Yeah.
And it came down to it. One time I was getting off the bus, had just finished my first day of lifeguarding, and it was out here when we had Wet and Wild. And I got off the bus, and this lady, it was like a really hot summer. This lady was just crossing the street, and out of nowhere, she falls.
Oh shit. Dude.
And I, again, like for like maybe like a few seconds, I felt like that moment with my friend where I felt like I couldn't do anything, and almost like I heard everything going on, and it just couldn't hear anything, and I was stuck in that moment of like disbelief that I couldn't help. And then like something in me just kind of remembered my training. I went over and I helped the lady. I kind of checked her. Kind of the main thing you do when it comes to things like that is if like the person is seizing, they're gonna bite their tongue. So you have to put something in their mouth to help them. And so she was seizing, and then she was throwing up. And when they throw up, you're supposed to put them in a recovery position, which is technically off to their side, so that they don't choke on their throw up. And so the minute I did that, I got over there. I helped the lady. I checked to make sure she didn't have any cuts on her head. And that moment made me realize that what I had did for that lady wasn't just for her. It wasn't just for me. It was for my friend.
Yeah.
It was him there with me, letting me know, you got this, you can do it.
Yeah.
And going forward, helping people in that way kind of really made me feel like, oh, I can be a change. I can be a difference.
Yeah.
Having kids, a lot of times first-time parents freak out when it comes to like your kids choking or doing anything. My fiance being one of them. I had to kind of teach her and show her, hey, look, these are a few things you can do to help. And in a sense, like I said, the biggest thing that happens when something goes on that you panic
Yeah.
is your biggest enemy, because then you start to forget what you're supposed to do.
True that, bro.
My son one time was choking on something, and she freaked out. She woke me up, and I went over and I looked at him. I saw how he was coughing, stuck my finger in, pulled it out, and then I flipped him over, and I kind of, you have to pat him on the back. And my fiance's crying, he's choking, crying. And she was like, "You were so calm. Like, how is it that you were calm?" I said, "Because in a situation like this, if I freak out, I'm not going to remember what to do. I'm not going to be able to help."
Yeah.
And it goes without saying, helping people even in ways you can helps, like you guys give back to your community. That helps someone. That's helping in not only helping them with their mental, helping them physically, but emotionally.
And it's kind of cool, bro, like hearing your story, like how you said you went through that moment with your friend that kind of changed the way you move in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like the same with my movement, like I come from like that family background where I understand the power of addiction, and it shifted the way that I treat others out in the streets now, like it's like a little ripple effect, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It will just change you.
It makes you feel better when you can help, especially, I mean, like for me, when I help someone, right, it's not what I get from it, it's what I did for them.
Yeah.
And that's my gain.
Yeah.
My gain is knowing I helped someone. And it's nice because there are some things like on social media, especially with the like day and age now, social media is something that some people either use for the better or use for the worst.
100%.
And there are some cases where people are going around trying to put on the face of I'm helpful.
Yeah.
And it's really just for the camera.
100%.
Because then I've seen videos where someone's trying to go and help someone. They pull up the camera, they record and help them. And then after that, like they don't care. Like they're super rude and super disrespectful. That you'll see like a POV of someone else maybe walking by and they're treating them like crap.
Yeah.
And it's like you did it all for the camera, and now you're showing that not only are you just using it for social media, but you're using it to kind of move the light away from what people are actually trying to do. And with you guys, like I said, it hasn't even been one video. It's been multiple times where like I've just been scrolling and like your video pops up and I'll stop and I'll watch it. And then the very last one that I got was actually the guy that's going to be doing this like TV pilot that's going to be in the film festival. He was like, "Yo, man, you should definitely have him on. Like, he's been giving back to the community so much. I think this was someone you should really, really, have on your podcast." And I was like, you know what? Like, I've gotten so many messages from this that I was like, you know what? I'm going to reach out. Like, at first I was like, I didn't know. So like your videos that I've seen, I saw that they were in different areas. So I wasn't sure. Once I saw where your shop was, the barber shop was, I was like, okay, he's closer than most, because like I've had people drive down from San Diego to come and do an interview, or from LA and come and do an interview, and I was like, I kind of want to see, like, your videos were more consistent of being within this area of town, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna reach out and see, and hopefully we can get you on. And having you here is just kind of nice, being able to see like you got your support system, you support your community as much as you're being supported in your own household, dude, and that's important. Like I don't have my dad, I don't have my mom, but I think that has made it to where I want to give others what I've never had. Yeah, and dude, it's a message that not many people want to give, because sometimes you use it to deflect things, right? You use it to be like, no, I don't have anyone. No one cares about me. I'm not going to do anything. And you guys give a message of you are somebody, you can be somebody, and you will be somebody. And that's nice. And so you were saying a little more about this nonprofit. Is this something you guys are going to connect with, like it being at your shop?
Yeah, dude. So we got everything going on at the shop, and honestly, I got my mentor. My mentor name is Raphael Tats. He's on Instagram. He's based in Florida.
Oh, okay.
And his homie Alex, he actually is the one that put me onto it. So he started seeing like what I was doing, because my mentorship consisted of just marketing and upping your price and getting as much clients as you possibly can. And he kind of seen what I had going on. He's like, you know what, bro? I think what you need to do is enter this nonprofit world. He's like, and I'm gonna connect you with my dude. And I think the homie Alex has had his for about 4 to 5 years. And his mission is pretty much just to feed all the homeless. And my mission is just to make sure everybody got a fresh cut and that they feel that love. And yeah, dude. So the homie Alex was like, bro, you gotta start just thinking big. So that's why I'm saying, like, you know what? I think eventually, like, I'm gonna just go state to state, and then eventually just go all around the country,
travel around the world and help. Yeah. And so, like I mentioned, right, my friend, her grandfather kind of passed from the situation he had, and it sucked, because I knew the guy, I knew the man, and he was a real kind person. He was a former military, and seeing that guy goes country to country, like different countries to help people. There's another guy, I think his name is Jimmy, if I'm not Jimmy Darts, and he'll go to a different country, different states, and just kind of people will reach out, hey, these people really need help. They're losing their home or they're on the road of being homeless, and he just goes and like talks to them and like, hey, what's something you want? I think the last video I saw was this the dad and the son were doing like yard work, like trimming, and he asked him like, what's something that you wish you could have? He was like, well, I'm trying to save right now to help get my sister back. He goes, but I've been trying to save for a dirt bike, and because what's going on with my sister, he said, I've just been giving all the money that I get from what I'm doing to my dad. And the guy came up to him. He was like, here, like, after that, he like started a whole GoFundMe for the people. And like, again, community comes together, your supporters come together.
Crazy.
And he was like, look, man, he came back to him. He bought the little boy, an ATV, and then he gave the dad $30,000. He goes, will this help you guys get your daughter back? And he was just emotionally crying, like, yeah, like this is going to be more than enough to help. And so seeing how you want to do that, I think you're on the road to being able to do that.
Yeah,
like
man.
It shows that, as you said, you're not really seeing this as like, oh, I'm in it for the money. You're into it to change people's lives. And as I said, man, haircuts, as many people may think, oh, it's just a simple haircut. Yeah, maybe just a haircut, but maybe that person has a haircut in 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And you just made them look like a completely different person.
Yeah.
And as you were saying, like people that may or may not know that their loved one is on the streets, you giving them a cut and they see it on a video and be like, oh my God, like they're still around. We haven't heard from them. And that's nice. You know,
yeah,
you're,
dude, it's crazy.
in a sense, kind of connecting families in a way where most people wouldn't think that would connect people. And
that's the thing too, man. Everybody gets like this misconception, like, oh, why don't you do it without the camera? And it's funny because I'm like, they don't realize that what I'm doing is I'm bringing awareness, and it's actually making me being able to up every experience I give with the donations coming through and make it a better experience for the next time that I go and give out. And that's what I'm saying too. Like when people say stuff like that, I'm like, okay, you don't understand. Because like how you said, you could tell who's doing it for the likes and the clicks and who's doing it because they got experience or they know what that life is about.
exactly.
So I'm moving with just pure love, you know?
And I mean, most of the time, you know, as they say, it's funny how this works, and it makes perfect sense. Hate as much as love, it takes more time out of someone's day to hate on you than it does to love someone.
Yeah.
And if you're taking the time out of your day to hate what someone's doing, you're feeding into slowly, well, I mean, every time I post, you're commenting. You must be looking. If you don't follow me, you're still coming around and you're looking, you're searching me up. So clearly, you're doing something great. And as I, you know, most of the time they say, if you don't have people that are hating on you, that means that, you know, when you have people, I'm sorry, let me reword that. When you have people hating on you, that means you're doing something that's going to change other people's lives, and maybe they don't like it.
Yeah.
And that falls on them and how they want to be. Because again, social media nowadays, it could be used for good, it could be used for bad. And yeah, if most people, I'm pretty sure that's a big thing. Like most people are like, well, do it without the camera. Well, yeah, if I do it without the camera, that's fine. I will still do it. But how am I going to get my message across?
Yeah,
of me coming to
bro.
help, me coming to support, me being here for people that need it.
Yeah.
That's the thing that people don't understand is there is a message behind everything you do, every video you make, and it shows not just others you're in your community, but even around you, that there is someone out there looking out for people. There is someone out there supporting others. And although it may seem that you're doing it for the camera, in reality, you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart, and you're also giving back to the people that don't really get seen as a person. They get seen as just something on the street, and that's, you know, that's great. You know, it's nice to see that there are more people within our valley that think that way, because there's people out here that are high and mighty. Well, I have a huge following. I'm done. I don't care. Now I have what I wanted.
Yeah.
And you, on the other hand, you're not only gaining your following, you're also upping and increasing your community's value, and you're helping others at the same time. And so that's nice. You know, that's the things that in the valley, it's good to see. It's good to see that we have bad, but around where, as they would say, right, at where there's darkness, there's light, and at the end of the tunnel, there's always light. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and that's nice. And being the fact that you, as you were mentioned, you know, like you're letting God guide you, that's nice. Most people don't understand that you can believe in whatever you want to believe in, right? At the end of the day, we all believe in something.
Yeah.
And it may not be the same thing that I believe in. It may not be the same thing you believe in, or, you know, A and B, but it is one thing. And we all know that there is something we believe in, and there's something we are doing it for. And when you bring peace into yourself, as far as like, you know what, like, I've been struggling with something. Maybe let me try something new. Maybe let me try to focus on
Yeah, dude.
saying,
Yeah.
hey, hey God, like help me, give me a way. And most people think like, for me, I grew up with Catholic. My stepdad was Catholic. My aunt was Christian. And when I would go with her, I think I learned a little bit more from the Christian faith than the Catholic faith, only because certain people gave you a certain message. When it came to being Christian or it came to being Catholic, you saw the difference in what it was. And in reality, everyone all knows there is a higher being, but everyone has a different way of interpreting that. And that's really what religion is going to be. It's an interpretation of how you want to do it. Those people that go, oh, I believe in science. Well, yeah, you believe there's science, meaning the Big Bang created the universe. That is still a higher being. That is still something outside of the normal that other people don't see. And that's why nowadays, like with all the stuff going on, like instead of everyone trying to fight each other and get involved in like, well, they said this, but that person said that, and I think this and I think that, it's better to just be able to understand that we're never always going to see eye to eye. Because I mean, if we all see eye to eye, what's going to happen? There's nothing that's going to be around to do anything with.
Yeah.
And showing that there's a change in your thought process is nice, because again, like for me, like I do believe in I do believe in God, and I believe in that there is a way to change yourself in that way. Like you give yourself to God and you say, hey, look, like my life is in your hands, show me the way, and you'll get messages.
Because I like how you said that too, bro. Like, not to cut you off, but how you said like the way that I've been doing it, the decisions that I've been doing, it's not working, so let me try your way. Like how you said that, bro. Like that's really what like transpired in my head, to start moving different, start thinking different, and start loving different.
Yeah, exactly. And again, we're all human, which makes us all equal. And yes, some of us have opportunities more than the others, and some of us have to struggle to make it, and some of us don't have to struggle to make it. But that's just a part of life, and everything in life, we all end up having to figure out that we're not all the same. But at least as a race, as a human race, we all still should believe, hey, we can all come together and make a difference. We don't have to see eye to eye. We don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree, and we can all find a way to change and make an impact on our community, on our world, society as a whole. It's nice. And I like what you guys are doing as far as the like giving back to your communities. That's like a message to me, like to show me like, hey, like there is people out there that really want more than just the light that comes from social media. You guys want more. You guys want to embrace the change. You guys want to encourage people to do better by others instead of just looking down on people. Maybe try to kind of understand them and help to bring them up. And that's what I feel like you guys are doing with, I mean, like you're giving out food, drinks, clothing, shoes, like even that. Like I've gotten to a point where there was one time there was a man at a gas station, and he had his kids in the car, and he kept asking everyone, hey, like, you guys have any extra money? Like, I just want to get food. Like, I don't even need you guys to give me the money. I just want to get food for my kids. And my fiance was in the car, and I told her, hold on. I went over to the guy, and I was like, hey, I was like, if you want to bring your wife and your kids inside, I said, I'll grab you guys whatever you guys want. As soon as we walked out, the look on his kid's face was just so touching, because they were so happy. They were like, oh, we just want these. It was at an AM PM, so like the little rollers that they have. And I was like, grab as many if you guys want. And the little kids were like, can I grab this? And the mom was like, no, let's just grab what we're gonna. I was like, no, go ahead. Grabbed a bag of chips, some juice, some snacks, and just seeing the kids happy.
Yeah, dude.
And then the guy was like, thank you, man. He goes like, really all we needed was like gas, but my kids were hungry. And I was like, no, don't worry about it. And then I gave him $40. I was like, here, man, like put gas in your car. I said, get out of the, it's hot, get out of the heat, like find somewhere to go. And it changed me. It changed me in thinking, bro. Like
it changes.
It gives you goosebumps, right? Like when you, for me, I don't know how you feel, but when I have my moments of like discouragement where I feel like I'm sitting down somewhere and I feel hopeless, right? And having kids, that's like the one thing that most people and parents don't want to feel. And so there's times where I'll sit there and I like close my eyes and I'm just like, hey, like I'm struggling with something. I need an answer. Give me a sign. Show me something. And I get goosebumps. Immediately get goosebumps to where I'm like, okay, like now I know you're listening, and it changes the way of what I want to do, and it's really nice to be able to see that change in others. And yeah, man, I really do like what you guys are doing. It's awesome. And if you guys ever need any help recording anything or doing anything like that, feel free to reach out to me. I would be more than happy to come out and help you guys record and do anything like that, whether it's going out with the community, going to your shops, or anything like that. I'd be glad to come and help you guys out and just
that's fire, bro.
Bring a camera out and just put it up somewhere for you guys or record you guys, do anything like that. Also, with that being said, I got a few things here on the table. We have 3 brands: Gremlin, Claiborne, and West Coast Cure. West Coast Cure is a flip. It comes with two strains. Claiborne is their gold cut line, so it's one of their higher tiers, and then Grambling is one of the ones that has been really cool. With like everything that I've been smoking from them has been great, except for one thing. So I'm gonna do like a little thing for you guys if you guys want to try them out. I do a rating for any brands that I do right. I don't rate anything under a 4. So if it's a 4, I explain why it's not for me, it's for someone else, and I give the pros and I give the things that I feel like could be a little changed. So if you guys want to give it a try, I have a raspberry, I have a Cobra Kush, we have the Flip Dual is a blackberry Kush and Blue Dream, and then there is a birthday cake and Granddaddy Purple. So if you want to pick one of these, we can do a quick little review, so that way you can give me your take on one of these.
That last one you read.
This one right here?
Pretty interesting, yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Sound pretty good right there. Let's see what we working with. But yeah, that's cool, bro. I like how you said too, though, like doing stuff for others. It really like fuels your spirit and fuels your soul, bro. And people don't understand until they do it, man. That shit really does fulfill you in a different way.
Yeah, because it's even like what they do with kids, right? Like if your childhood wasn't good and you start to have kids, you're like, well, I want to give my kids a better childhood than I have. It kind of makes your inner child happy, right? Same thing with everything else, you know.
Exactly,
like
you want to be, bro.
You want to be the change that you didn't get. All right, so with this one, you can hold it down. You can hit the one on the left. You hold it down. You can hit the one on the right. Or if you hold it down, you can hit both. You want to hit the 1, the 2, or which one do you want to do?
You know, fuck it. We'll do both.
Both at the same time? All right, let me set that up here for you. Boom, there you go.
And do I gotta just like hit it, or
you just take a drag? No, yeah, just take a drag and then let me know. And then we have the birthday Kush, the Cobra.
Shit tastes pretty good.
Yeah, and you got the combo too. You got the birthday cake and the Granddaddy Purple. Now, what? You can smell it. What is the one you taste the most?
I would say I taste like probably the birthday cake more.
The birthday cake, okay.
You got a little flavor with it.
Okay. Yeah, these dual tanks are nice. You get a half gram on each side. You get a full gram total. And it's nice to be able to not. I like to tell people when you buy things like this, you don't commit to one strain, one flavor.
Bro. And that shit definitely kicks too. Like this is my first smoke of the day.
Oh, nice.
I haven't smoked this morning. Usually I'll wake and bake, but I was like, you know what? Let me come in clear minded. And I can say like off the rip, bro, I already feel like a little head change with that shit.
Change, nice, okay.
And this shit looks like all futuristic too, bro. You be hitting it, that shit start running up.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a nice. I like how they're trying to change the way they do things when it comes to these pens, because now they even have it to where like it counts your puffs.
Are you more of like a pen guy, or you're more of like a tree guy?
So funny enough, right? Because I have kids now, I have to kind of rely more on the pens just because it's a little easier.
Be a little discreet.
Mm-hmm. But and then like especially when I'm streaming, like because I do a lot. I haven't done it in a while, but like damn. This smells like like gum. Like you just opened up a gum pack. It smells like you just.
Oh, it does, bro.
Like straight up gum, like the packaging.
Oh shit.
That smells good.
That raspberry OG.
So when I first started, when the cannabis industry was 2019, I used to work at a dispensary called 420 Oasis. It was, and eventually became Fire and Flower, and now it's closed down. But the woman there, she was my mentor, as you could say, and she kind of showed me the ropes on everything, and she was like, I'm going to spoil you guys so bad that any other place you go to is not going to be the same.
Bro, I like how you say that, because that's how we try to do with our business, with our guys. Everybody in there, we give them like a free week for like their birthday, or if they want to go on vacation. And then for Christmas, like we hook them up. And not a lot of barbershops do that.
Yeah.
So I like how you said that, bro, because you want to make it so good where they're like,
so good that
I love it here.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean, she flew me out to Oklahoma to help them open up a pre-roll line. I got paid $1,400 to fly to Oklahoma, smoke weed.
That's crazy.
Smoke joints to make sure that the quality was good. Roll pre-rolls. Like we were stuffing the pre-rolls. We were like putting the labeling on all the packaging. And I went to go watch bare knuckle boxing. And I'm just like, damn, like I got paid $1,400. And they paid for my flight.
Dude.
They paid for my flight. They paid for my food. Paid for everything. I stayed on a cabin by the lake. And I'm just chilling, smoking. And it was great. And so now I like to be able to give stuff like because again, I'm sponsored by a few brands. And So I like to be able to, like, when I get stuff and people like and enjoy it, I like to be able to give it to people and like let them know, like, hey, look, this isn't just for me, it's for you guys. So with the ones you just hit the birthday cake in purple, the Granddaddy purple, and this one.
And the
Give me a rating from this one from 4 to 10. What did you think?
You know what, bro? This one was really solid. I enjoyed it. I'd probably give it like a good 8, bro.
Okay, that's a good rating.
This one's good too. But what I will say, this taste, it kind of matches like the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
This one too, it smells like really, really strong, but it doesn't taste the way you would.
The way that you smell. Okay.
So with this one, bro, I'd probably give it like a 5.
Okay. I mean, 5 is still a good rating because, again, it could be for someone else and doesn't necessarily have to be for you, which is great. So this camera right here, man, if you want to give some words of encouragement to anyone in their journeys of pursuing anything in life.
Hey, man, whatever you're doing, self-belief is everything. As long as you believe in yourself, you know, you can sound like you're crazy. No one ever understand. But you also got to back it up with the work, too. So you can't just have, like, these little dreams and not have any action behind it. Attack it every day with passion and just be consistent and see what your life looks like after 5 years of giving it your all.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, thank you again for coming on. Appreciate you guys coming as well, checking out this studio.
Thank you for having me.
Make sure you guys like, follow, and subscribe. Put up his Instagram so you guys can go check out his journey and everything that he does for the community. Thank you guys for coming in.
Appreciate it, brother. Much love,
West
man.
Coast, Gremlin, been an honor. It's your boy, Curly Stoner.
BarberCipactli.
There we go, because I'll botch the name. This is the Stoner Network. We out of here. See ya.